Hey guys, Max here with another Ashlands video. In this one, we're going to be talking about the different supplies that you're going to want to put into your Jakar ship here when you make your first venture to Ashlands, right? What do we want to bring? What do we want to have in the boat ready to use as soon as we hit the beach for the first time? Keep in mind that this is my opinion. This isn't the best strategy. This isn't the only strategy. This is just to give you an idea of what you're going to need and what you want to think about bringing. And then you can kind of tailor this idea to your own playstyle. Maybe you're a caster, melee, archer. Maybe you want to use different building materials. You have a different build style or different plan, that kind of thing. But this is just to kind of help you get situated on your first trip to Ashlands. Now, before we get into the cargo hold, let's talk about the backpack first. I'm going to be bringing, my basic weapons, whether it's a sword, mace, axe, whatever. If you're a caster, you're going to bring your caster weapon. If you're arranged with a bow, you're going to bring your bow. It's pretty common sense, right? I like to bring the pickaxe and the axe. There are definitely some broken down trees and things like that on the beach that you might need to clear if they're in your way, kind of thing, just to have that handy. I'm going to be bringing a hoe so I can flatten out the ground really quickly if I need to. It doesn't need to be pretty, but sometimes you might land on the beach and the good area that you want to be in has a little bit of a hill in it, and it kind of makes it annoying to plant the workbench and things like that. I'm going to be bringing hammers. They're going to be max rank, obviously, but I'm going to bring two. Just in case this thing goes out and I'm stuck out there and I can't build a portal or something, I'm just going to have a backup hammer just in case. I'm going to be bringing poison resistance mead. This is mainly for the serpent on your way in. It shoots a fireball-ish ability, but it leaves a poison dot on you, so I'm going to have a poison resistance on. You can bring fire resistance as well. I'm going to be bringing the lingering stamina mead that came in Mistlands. This is very important, in fact, because when you start to build, when you hit that sand for the first time, you need to erect a portal and a base really quick. Erect, and then a major healing mead, and the eater mead, depending on your class, really. I'm going to bring the feather cape, but I'm not going to wear it. It's weak against fire now, but just in case I need to jump or float down from somewhere, probably not when you first hit the beach, but again, just in case. Arrows if I'm a cast or arranged. And then I'm going to have my basic armor. I'm going to wear the Lox cloak because it's not resistance to fire. And then food. And your food is going to depend on, like I said, your class. Are you melee or are you caster? But I believe the best stamina food that you want to consider is fish and bread, because you want more stamina to be able to erect erect your base quicker, right? So this is what I'm bringing in my backpack. Let's take a look at what I'm going to put in the cargo hold. Now, at the end of this video, I'm going to show you all of the combined materials. As we talk about them, I'm going to list off what they are, but you won't have to write it down. I'm going to have the whole total at the end for you, right? The first three things that you want to consider dropping is a workbench, a portal, and a stone cutter. When you drop the portal, don't name it, okay? When you are back in your home base before you leave, create another portal, but don't name it as well. Portals that do not have a name will link to each other. That way, when you drop the portal, you're not messing with it, trying to make sure you spell the name right and get the capitalization right while you're getting attacked, right? So just don't name the portal. That way it just automatically activates as soon as you drop it. And then this will basically help you if you die on the beach, you can just get back right away. Next, we want to surround our portal, workbench, and stone cutter with basically a wall, some type of housing to protect them from getting hit from monsters and things like that. So I will be bringing 824 marble, and you're going to be sitting there thinking, what? Let me explain. Okay, so I tested all these walls against lava blob explosions, which are probably going to be one of the more common things that kind of destroy your base and cause problems. There'll be skeletons and things like that, but the lava blobs, if they get next to your wall, there's nothing you can do. You kill them, they explode. You get near them, they explode. And so you basically have to try to kite them away. So I tested explosions on each of these four types of walls. They one-shot the wood walls instantly from one hit. Stone walls, they hit them with twice and they died. And these were all 0 stars, so maybe you get a 1 star or maybe an unlucky hit or something. These are just averages, right? But it was 2 hits for the stone wall. So it's a little bit less stone to build these things than the marble. But the marble was 3 hits. Every time I tested a lava blob explosion on a marble wall, it took 3 hits to knock it down. So if you have 1 or 2 come up and it blows up on your wall and you're like, dang it, it's not going to completely fall apart, and then the ceiling falls down and you're exposed to other monsters. So I'm going with marble. The new stone, the Groston stone, I'm probably saying it wrong, It took 4 hits. And so if you gather this up enough, you could probably switch out your walls later, but this is a video on landing on the beach. So I am going with the black marble, and I'm taking 824 with me. You can obviously go with less if you want to make a little bit smaller base, but the housing that I'm about to show you, you'll kind of get an idea of why I'm bringing so much and how I'm building it. So let's get into that next. Now, when you first land on the beach, it's kind of hard to choose where you're going to land because the spikes, it doesn't make it friendly to sail down the coast. I mean, look at this, like it's just kind of narrow right here. So when you land on the beach, it's going to be an onslaught of enemies and you're going to have to fight tooth and nail. At least that's how it is on the test branch right now. So you want to be over prepared and then wipe out everything that you can and then try to find something that's near the beach, but then maybe has like a mountain next to it that kind of blocks the side of the view. And this is the structure that I built, right? So I planted my my wood bench, my stone cutter, and my portal. It wasn't this pretty. I just planted them all in a circle and then just started building a casing of marble around them, right? And I went 7 this way and 8 along the front and the back, okay? And I made them 3 high, right? And the reason I made it 3 high is because I did not use a traditional roofing shingle because every single roofing shingle that I tested exploded from a lava blob on 1 hit. So I just went with the marble on the roof. And that's why I'm bringing so much bloody marble with me, is because I have to take care of the roof as well. So if a lava blob gets on top of the roof because it jumped up there or something like that, and it blows up, it's not going to completely one-shot my ceiling, right? And again, like I said at the beginning of the video, you can tailor this however you want. For example, I went with these large dark wood gates. You can go with just the regular wood doors, but it will be a little bit shorter. So you're going to have to use this little piece to like kind of bridge the gap at the top of the door like this, because the wood only goes to the bottom of that. So you bring less wood for the doors, but you got to bring a little bit better marble to cover up the gap right there. So again, tailor it to your preference. And then let's talk about how to set up what is going to be inside right after that. Now that we got the floor all leveled out with our hoe and kind of making things semi-decent, I come to the back here and I punch a hole in this back left-hand corner and 2 more to the right, okay? Now, the first thing I like to put down is a campfire. 1, for a light source in case it's dark in here, but 2, as long as you have a campfire down, it'll turn on the comfort in here, so that way that you have that comfort rolling whenever you're out here. And then the second thing I'm going to drop down is the shield generator, and you can put this inside the house. Check this out. So see where this square is? It's got the kind of blue light in the middle of it. This is where you put the bones in it, right? The bone fragments. You want to have that square facing the right-hand side, not the left-hand side, because that's where the campfire is going to be, and there's going to be something else there. But we put this just like this, and now you can have your generator inside the house, so it's not attacked by the enemies outside. And even better than that is that if I take some marble and cover it up, it will still work. You come back down here, and you feed some bones into it, and you come back outside, and look, the whole dome is working. Your shield generator is inside the encased marble structure, and it's covered on the top, so monsters can't get to it. Look at this guy. He's just kind of walking around out here. He's not attacking because I'm flying, obviously, but he's not out here beating on your shield generator, right? So that is the first 2 things that I like to get going once I've got my marble structure set up. And that's the working of a first base out here on the beach, right? You've got your portal to get home, your workbench to, repair and craft things, your stone cutter to be able to put the black marble down or the stone down, shield generator to protect you from the weather, and a campfire to give you comfort, and a little hole in the ceiling to let the smoke go out. Let's go take a look at the grand total of the supplies that we're going to need to put this all together. We need a workbench with 10 wood, okay? We need a stone cutter bench, which is 10 wood, 2 iron, and 4 stone. And then we're going to need the portal, which is 10 gray dwarf eyes, 20 fine wood, and 2 surtling cores. And then for my personal preference for the building structure, I'm bringing 824 black marble. And then once we get inside there, we're just going to need a basic campfire, 5 stone and 2 wood. And then most importantly, the shield generator. You're going to need 5 iron, 5 copper, and 1 shield core. And to make the shield core, we come over to the artisan bench over here. And it's going to take 1 black core from the Dungeons and Mistland, 1 surtling core, and 5 ceramic plates, which is what you make with the new queen item that's just to the left of this bench here, which also is used to make the boat to get there, so you'll know what this is. But you make the shield core, and that makes the shield generator. And then lastly, for the doors out front, I use the dark wood gates, so I'm going to bring 32 wood for those, 8 iron, and 2 tar. And your cargo hold is going to look something like this. The black chest is the same size as the Drakkar ship. I've got all my black marble in here. I've got my parts for the portal. I've got enough wood to make the workbench and the stone cutter and the doors, the iron for the stone cutter and the doors and things like that, as well as the copper and the iron for the shield generator with the shield core, a little bit of tar for the door, and then stone for the campfire and things like that. And then I brought 50 bones just to power that shield generator. You can stock up more if you want to bring 2 or 3 shield generator cores, a lot more stone. You want to double the copper, double the fine wood, and for the portals and things like that, you can. It doesn't have to just be the bare minimum, right? And then you've got 3 extra spaces here for anything else that you might think of, or you can tailor this back and add a little more, got some room in your backpack, that kind of thing. But to me, this is kind of the basic starter. The idea is you want to get on the beach, fight off the horde of monsters, and then just get that portal up and get a structure around it. It doesn't need to be pretty, and then you move from there. Now, for those that want to stick around for a few more bonus tips, one, when you hit the beach, I like to go with the boss skill Bone Mass, especially if you're melee, just because it kind of really helps with that damage intake when you're getting swarmed by a bunch of monsters. And like I said earlier, try to pick a spot that's kind of near the water a little bit. You might get a vulture or 2 out of the water, but then you got this mountain, so all the monsters that are kind of patrolling on this side of the mountain right here, they're not going to see me because of this giant rock. Or maybe this is out in the water, but maybe this wasn't in the water, this big structure right here. Maybe it was kind of over here, so it's another angle that the monsters aren't kind of seeing you from across the way. So kind of try to tuck yourself into something a little bit. And then as far as the structure inside, once you're all cozy in here, what I like to do is I like to kind of spruce it up a little bit for the comfort. So I put in this large table right here. I put an iron stand on it, and I put a rug on top of it just because you can't really see it well on the ground. I put this giant chest right here just for storage when you find stuff out here, so you're not going back and forth through the portal all the time. I put a giant dragon bed. You could put the smaller bed here if you want. I put the marble throne here, which is exactly why I separated the 2 holes just like that, to put the throne right there in the middle, and I could still put firewood here, and I could still get my my bone fragments in here. And then I add a little bit of light on the back and a little bit of light on the front just to kind of make it a little more bright in here. But now when I'm sitting in here messing around or preparing to go fight, I got comfort level 12 and 19 minutes of rested, right? And it's just a quick way to set up your base and kind of have a foothold to be prepared for when you go out there and fight the hordes of monsters that you're going to run into. A couple more bonus tips for the outside of the base. If you build another marble wall with 2 blocks of space in between it, this will be enough for the lava blobs. If a lava blob were to crash against this wall right here, the explosion, I've already tested it, will go through 3 blocks, right? So if it explodes right here, it's not going to hit this wall right here. So kind of like an extra layer of protection if you're really on an area that's kind of open. And second, the ash wood that you find out here for the spikes, it's really cheap to make these things. It's only 6 ash wood, right? And so if you don't like this wall over here, if you want to put these right in between it, you just put these guys here, and they do like 120 damage without armor. So, and I've tested them against Morgans and things like that. So just put this kind of around the side of it a little bit. And then as the skeletons and things like that walk along the side of the wall, when they hear you inside and they're kind of walking along the wall to find their way in while you're in there messing around, they'll just walk along these things and just die, right? So another couple things to kind of slowly work on once you're out here for a little bit longer. And that about wraps up this guide. Like I said at the beginning of the video, this isn't the best strategy, right? It's not meant to be the prettiest. It's meant to be efficient, concise, and just to make sure you nail the basics so that when you're out here, you get something going quickly while those monsters are trying to, come down on top of you. So if you feel like I deserve it, hit the like button down below, subscribe for more Valheim content, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.